What's going on, y'all? It's OT, the Lord and Eyes, and I'm back between the banners, back with another crazy claim saying that one knife is better than all the rest. This here is the Victorinox Deluxe Tinker, and I believe this is the best Swiss Army knife slash multi-tool for EDC purposes. And I'm about to give y'all 3 reasons why. But before we do that, I just wanted to thank everyone, and I'm so grateful because here at the channel, we finally hit 100 subscribers, which might not seem like a lot, but it's quite the milestone to me, and I'm so happy and so grateful. So thank you for all the subscribers, thank you for all the viewers, thank you for all the support, and let's get into this knife. Alright, let's jump right into the specs. It has a closed length of 91 millimeters or 3.5 inches. It has a open total length of 6.25 inches, but if you want to go butterfly mode, closer to 8 inches. It weighs 123 grams or 4.3 ounces. And the tools consist of a main blade, a secondary blade, a can opener for can opening, and a small flathead screwdriver, a bottle opener for bottle opening, a little wire stripper, and a larger flathead screwdriver. It has a scissors for scissoring. No, it's not actually for scissoring. Don't mind that. My editor will probably edit this out, so it's cool. And we got a pliers for plying, although it's not too big, but you know, I believe I can ply. I believe I can touch the sky. It also has a wire cutter, those pliers there. On the other side, it has a Phillips head screwdriver for most of your screwdriving needs. It has an awl pike for when you get too fat and you need to add another hole to your belt, or also when you get too skinny. You know, it helps with belts. And it has this hook thing, which I don't know what it's used for. Comment down below if you found a use for this mystery hook. I really don't understand why it's there. Then you got the toothpick, which I use almost daily. And I know you guys are like, oh, you're just gonna stick that toothpick in your mouth and pick out food bits and then put it right back in the knife? Yes, I do that. Not only do I do that, I wipe it on my questionably clean shirt, stick it back in there. I'm still standing and my teeth haven't fallen out, so I think you'll be fine. We got the tweezers for tweezing, picking out little shards of glass and wood splinters. All in all, it has 17 tools, and I may have missed some. Comment down below if I have. I'm not gonna double check. So reason number 1 why the multi-tool is the best Swiss Army knife slash multi-tool is utility versus practicality. Many wise men before me has said that there must be balance in the force. And when it comes to multi-tools, the balance lies between utility and practicality. On one end of the spectrum, you have the Leatherman Super Tool 300. It is massive, it's overbuilt, it has so many useful tools that you can use. It's built like a tank, not a Sherman tank, more like a Tiger tank. But it's not the most practical knife to be carrying every day, unless you're like a construction worker or you work in demolition or something, and you can have a big old knife in a sheath on your hip every day. Then by all means, the Leatherman Super Tool is the multi-tool for you. It's like carrying a toolbox, literally, in your sheath or on your hip. But it's not the most practical knife to be EDCing. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have the Victorinox Phantom, where it combines the bottle opener and the can opener into this one pretty neat little tool. It's not great at either one, but it can do both jobs. And that's what I mean about practicality. This falls into your pocket, you don't even know it's there, and it has enough knife to be useful, and it has enough functions really to be useful. So the Deluxe Tinker lies somewhere between these two extremes. It leans a little more to the utilitarian side, but it is just light enough to fit into your pocket and not cause any problems. I believe that this is about as heavy as it gets for secondary knives. And what I mean by secondary knives is like not a 3+ inch blade that locks. This is the largest I would want my secondary knife to be, and if you don't fully understand what a secondary knife is, I did make a video on secondary knives, so check that out and I elaborate a little more on the subject. But yeah, the Deluxe Tinker is just light enough to fit snugly beside my wallet and not cause any problems. So it has a lot of utility, and it's still just practical enough to be EDC'd or carried every day. Reason number 2, as some of you may know, I am an avid angler, and every time I go fishing, I bring 3 knives. I bring the Deluxe Tinker, I bring the Leatherman Wave, this $10 buck knife, which is called the Kingsman, I believe. Don't quote me on that. And although most of the time when I'm removing a hook from a fish, I use my Leatherman Wave, when the hook is small and the fish is really small, I use these pliers. On one of my fishing videos, the multi-species fishing video, I caught a sunfish that literally choked this hook, and I could not get the hook out until I used these little pliers. And I know that sunfish is super happy that day that I brought the Deluxe Tinker. Hopefully that sunfish is swimming fine and doing his little sunfish thing. Probably has some little sun babies, who knows. But I was able to save that fish's life because of these pliers, and I believe that that is really cool. Not only that, you can fillet a fish with this super thin blade. You can take out fins with these tweezers. It's just a great fishing knife. So my third and final reason is the fact that this knife is so compact while still having pliers and scissors. I've literally searched through the vast internet, and every other knife with pliers and scissors, it harkens back to my scale of utility versus practicality. Although the Victorinox Handyman or the Victorinox Evolution or the Evolution Tool Chest Plus, they're great knives. I'm not taking away from those knives, but they're just too big to be in the pocket. They're not really pocketable. Other knives with pliers and scissors like the Leatherman Wave or the Leatherman Squirt, they just have terrible scissors. So this is a middle ground with having all that utility and not being overwhelming for the pocket. I also used to have this knife called the Boker Tech Tool, I think it's the 5, and it had the pliers and the scissors. But again, that one was just a little too big. It was a little bigger than this knife. And like I said earlier, anything bigger than this knife, it just doesn't feel well in my pocket, personally. So that's the reason why I think that this particular knife is the greatest Swiss Army knife. Alright folks, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I really did wish I can give you a 4th reason why this is the best Swiss Army knife or multi-tool that can be EDC'd. But there's literally over 100 Victorinox styles, and anyone can say any of them is the best for their particular reasons. So once again, remember folks, a knife is good, a wife is good, but a life with a knife and a wife, well, that's pretty good too. I'm OT, the Lord of Knives. Stay sharp.